All right, we are live. This is day two of recovery from the marathon. How do I feel? I feel way better. I feel way better. I think we are getting better. I went on a walk this morning. I could still feel the pain, but I still walked my normal route, 10K steps. And yeah, it's pretty good now. It's pretty good now. I was low energy. I had some iced latte, and energy is still down, but I can walk. I can do the things that I want to do. So, hey, this was a win. This was a big win. Marathon, got it done. Day two, I'm pretty much recovered. I think in a couple more days, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. All right. I'm excited. So, what are we talking about today? I want to do deeper research live, and let's see. Quels sont les meilleurs casques anti-bruit de 2025? Peux-tu concevoir un itinéraire pour un séjour de 10 jours au Japon? Quelles sont les dynamiques économiques de la pénurie actuelle d'œufs? Quelles sont les dernières nouvelles concernant les politiques sur les crypto-monnaies? Okay, interesting deeper research recommendations. But what we'll look into is, tell me all about Bloomberg terminal. Tell me all about Bloomberg terminal. And considering I'm not from the finance industry, how can I use it? How can I use it? Let's see. I just found like a video of Bloomberg. I just found not a video, but a tweet of this one guy posting on a channel where this another influencer, another creator is basically talking about Bloomberg Terminal and kind of giving a bunch of tutorials on how this tool works. I know Bloomberg Terminal is basically it's a very expensive product. It is being used a lot in the entire quant industry. But I'm curious, what can a common person who is not in the finance industry, who is not in quant, how can they figure out what Bloomberg terminal is of use for them? Obviously, it's pretty much buying, selling stocks, but let's see. What do we get from here? Since I'm not from finance, let's check what it's all about. Research. Bloomberg Terminal, Beginner's Guide. What is Bloomberg Terminal? BT. Software system by Bloomberg LP. Also, it's an expensive product. It has, I think, people say that it is hard to replace. It's not one of those products that you can easily compete with and replace, or the switching cost is really high for the companies that are using Bloomberg Terminal. So let's learn more about it. Economists might find the economic data and research tools helpful for their work. Journalists can use it for gathering financial news and data given its use in journalism. Okay. I'm considering looking into the cost as it might be pricey for individuals. Let's see the search results have pricing details. Finding info on Bloomberg Terminal cost. Subscription service costing around $25,000 yearly, which feels cheap for most folks outside finance. Larger libraries and universities offer access, so the user might use it there if they're affiliated. Okay, makes sense. Students can access the Bloomberg Terminal through educational institutions, and there's a guide for them. They can complete Bloomberg Market Concepts, an e-learning course, and earn a certificate. Okay, nice. All right, so we took Grok deeper research, took 2 minutes to do this entire research. Let's see. Tool for real-time financial data mainly used by finance professionals. Non-finance individuals can access it through public libraries or universities like the NYPL or Purdue University libraries. It can be used for learning finance, researching companies, following news, even outside finance, such as in journalism or academia. That is very interesting. Like, you can basically do a bunch of those correlations, that how this new news that came out, how does that affect the stock? I'm guessing we'll learn more about that. Around 25,000 yearly. Wow. Computer software system. Let's turn off deeper research. Bloomberg Terminal is a computer software system by Bloomberg LP designed for professionals to access real-time financial market data. news price quotes and messaging services. It's widely used in finance for monitoring markets. Actually, let's see if this is a better question. What is the market share of Bloomberg terminal? Okay. Designed for professionals to access real-time financial market data, news, price quotes, and messaging services. It's widely used in finance for monitoring markets and placing trades, known for its black interface and comprehensive data since its launch in '82. Okay. How can non-finance individuals use it? Still use Bloomberg Terminal through public libraries. Oh, so it mistook my question for how can I use it in terms of where can I access it. I was looking more into that. How can I leverage this tool if I come from a non-financial background? Such as Purdue offers access, often requiring reservations. As a student, you might complete the Bloomberg market concept, useful for researching companies, analyzing data, or following economic news applicable in fields like journalism or supply chain management. Personal access impractical for most. Alternatives like CapIQ or free tools like Yahoo Finance exist but lack the terminal's depth. Survey note, comprehensive analysis. Focus on its functionality, accessibility, and utility for individuals outside the finance industry. Based on extensive research conducted as of April 1925, the analysis aims to offer a thorough understanding suitable for professional and academic context while ensuring all information is grounded in the available data. Overview of the Bloomberg terminal. Developed by Bloomberg LP and first released in. Okay, I just thought of an idea and let me. Yeah, it's very important. Like whenever I do these streams, it's really important that every time I have an idea, I want to make sure I do it right away because these are some very interesting ideas. Okay. It's a computer software system primarily designed for financial professionals. It provides access to Bloomberg professional services, enabling users to monitor and analyze real-time financial market data, place trades on electronic platforms, and access news, price quotes, messaging across a proprietary, secure network. Its black interface is iconic within the financial community, and it serves over 325,000 subscribers as of 2020. Wow, so just calculate that. Okay. What's the best way? Calculator online? Calculator. Okay, so let's do this. 325,000 multiplied by 25,000. Wow, what is this number? 8 billion. All right, that's how much money Bloomberg Terminal makes. With most large financial firms maintaining subscriptions, the terminal integrates sophisticated tools for fundamental and technical analysis, economic research, and more, making it a cornerstone for financial decision making. Subscription basis cost reported to be around 24 to 27,000 per year per user, depending on contract, whether it's for single terminal user or institutional subscriptions. 2,500 monthly for a 2-year contract, with likely increases since then. This high cost makes individual subscription impractical. Okay. Not feasible due to cost. Public libraries. Okay, this is not exactly what we wanted. With the 2-hour limit, no data download allowed. Wow. University libraries like Purdue's Parish offer one terminal for students, faculty, and staff, and first come first served basis or by reservation. Education, journalism, supply chain management, academia. So it's an educational tool with Bloomberg Market Concepts course. 8-hour self-paced e-learning program covering economics, currencies, fixed income, and equities. Accessible via typing BMC into the command line and providing a certificate upon completion. Wow. This is particularly valuable for those aspiring to enter finance or related fields, enhancing resumes with experience on a gold standard data platform. The terminal is used for accessing financial news and data, crucial for reporting on economic trends or corporate activities. For supply chain management, it can track commodity prices and market trends, while in academia, Researchers leverage it for economic and financial research, integrating real world data into coursework. Functionally, users can employ commands like DES for company descriptions, CN for company news, FA for financial statements. Okay. Limitations and alternatives. Reservations offer required in usage limit to specific hours, is Monday to Friday. Oh no, this deep research took my question in a different direction. Okay, public libraries, university libraries. Okay. 33.4% market share. Oh shit, that's not that high. I thought it would be really high. Why has nobody been able to disrupt the Bloomberg terminal monopoly? The company does 10 billion annually with little competition. Any response? Oh yeah, there are responses. Main Street FD disrupting the step-by-step mainstream data. Equity research in its most efficient form. I'm a big fan of Main Street. And it's built by James. Business, Picker, and Building. Main Street FD, Seattle. We have been acquired by TipRanks. MSG will be transforming into a high-end research platform with exclusive real-time news, extensive KPI coverage, and many more fundamental investing tools to enhance the research process. If you currently subscribe to Main Street Data Premium or sign up in the next few weeks, you will keep your current rate forever. Hopefully, the new platform will be well worth the money. I'm extremely grateful to everyone who has used your platform. It will reach millions of individuals in the coming years. I feel incredibly lucky. Still just getting started. Okay, congrats. TipRanks. Levels the playing field. Interesting. In the financial data and analytics market, as reported by the latest available data from 22. Okay. Its primary competitor, Refinitiv Icon, now transitioning to Workspace, has 19.6% market share. The remaining market is divided among other providers like FactSet, S&P Capital, IQ, Morningstar Direct. For context, Bloomberg's market share has remained strong despite a decline in terminal users in 2016, partly due to growth in its data feed in non-terminal businesses. Bloomberg and Thomson Reuters, Refinitiv's predecessor, each held about 30% of the market, showing Bloomberg's consistent dominance. Note for non-finance users: if you're exploring the Bloomberg terminal for research or learning, its market share reflects its widespread use among financial professionals, which ensures access to comprehensive real-time data. Who are the biggest, or what companies? What companies are the biggest clients of Bloomberg terminal? Let's see. Research on course. Biggest clients. While we have that research, let's dig into this one. Network effects. People are trying. There's Open BB, Coifin, Composer, and a bunch of new tools. None of them are there yet, though the street is also rigging. Has to be. Don't let the bad UI fool you. It's shockingly good. Decades of tech, but honestly, probably the connections amongst firms run too deep for a competitor to make headway. That's Autopilot. Yes. Karen Breslin. Execsum. Founder The Drop, acquired by Blockworks. Building CryptoSum. Oh, really cool. Information arbitrage. It's not easy to get the same type of info that comes from a network into a new system without having the entire network migrate. The network effect for BB Chat is world class. It's just so entrenched, and despite the old tech foundation, there are consistent improvements and new functionality. Plus, great consumer service. Still feels overpriced, to be honest, but the market says it isn't. It's a social network. Could ask the same about Facebook and Insta. That's very interesting. It's a social network, and because every top firm has been using it, and all these top firms have been making a lot of money, and they have built their business around this. They have built connections and network around this. They have a long history of just conversations and group chats, whatever going on this. It's hard to it's hard to switching costs. There's a generation of financial analysts and investors who have been using it for years. Wow. Bloomberg's biggest mode is when the IB director attempts to refresh the fact set. Links can't figure it out and yells at the analyst to never use fact set again. Tough to fight that mode. High barriers to entry, network effect, first movers advantage. Formally refinitive. LSE, London Stock Exchange. The world's most international stock exchange at the heart of the global economy. Whoa, okay. But only commands a fraction of the market share. Once an org builds a working system, the cost saving switching is greater than the cost saving. The community aspect is underrated, surprisingly difficult to overcome. Taking over ops, previous product, MasterCard, startups. I did a lot of research on Bloomberg when I was working on an info product at MasterCard. Bloomberg IB is their instant message feature. It honestly is the entire value prop. Number one uses 90% of the data features. No one uses 90% of the data features. What is that? Invest with Atlas. IB is the ubiquitous mode of communication both internally and externally. So if you're not on IB, you are not in the industry. It's that simple. That is very interesting. It's not about the product, it's not about the data features, it's about the network and the entrenched network. Wow. You have to disrupt the entire financial sector first because Bloomberg's so deeply integrated. Quality is unmatched. There's muscle memory among elite traders. What if someone replaced your keyboard with one completely different? You would be frustrated and angry. For traders, they would be the same multiplied by the volume of money they would lose by lack of efficiency. That is really interesting. If you want to replace Bloomberg Terminal, what you are pretty much doing is maybe they don't even care because they are like, why would we go for someone else if this product is just amazing? And also it comes with a brand name Bloomberg. We know everything. By the way, I'm looking at a beautiful car down there. I don't know what car is that. Is it a new Model Y? Oh wow. That is either I think that might be the X or Model X, right? The Falcon Wing. That was beautiful. Okay, let's go back. And what was the question we asked? What companies are the biggest clients of Bloomberg Terminal? Let's look at the website of Bloomberg Terminal. By the way, that was a great tweet that popped up because in the comments we had a lot of good opinions. But I'm surprised it has 33% market share. Maybe the rest of the market share is with these smaller startups and these are not the elite traders. There's a reason customers turn to the Bloomberg Terminal to address industry challenges. Request a demo of the Bloomberg Terminal and transform the way you work. Access to high quality data. 97% of customers say Bloomberg delivers access to high quality data. The right tech to do my job. 91% of customers say Bloomberg delivers the right tech for their jobs. Access to relevant research. 88% of customers turn to Bloomberg for research to make informed decisions. Power your decision making with market intelligence and next generation technology. We deliver intelligence at the speed of the markets, accelerating a pragmatic application of AI throughout our solutions. Actionable answers are synthesized for you across a wide range of inputs, including financial documents, unstructured data, pricing information, and more. Highlights. Get critical information context. And other documents are automatically analyzed and classified by topic and sentiment so that you can easily track trends as well as find and read more related information. Research at your fingertips. Daily notes, weekly notes, outlooks, most read. Analytics, idea generation. Earnings, analyst calls, podcasts. Okay. Research at your fingertips. Bloomberg Intelligence provides interactive data and exclusive outlooks by industry and region from a team of more than 350 research professionals. Turn communications into actionable information. Nvidia, sell. Instant Bloomberg goes beyond chat. It can seamlessly connect with your in-house proprietary systems to help you streamline collaboration and surface business intelligence. Make fast decisions with a customized workspace. Bloomberg Launchpad delivers dynamic multi-asset class security monitors, powerful alerting tools, sophisticated charting, and news that moves markets. Never miss a beat. On your mobile devices, whether you are in between meetings and transit or simply on the go, in the Bloomberg Professional app. Very interesting. Order a terminal subscription. Let's see, where does this take us? First name, last name, business email. Tell us what you do. Company type. Asset management firm, broker dealer, corporation, commercial bank, government agency, family office, hedge fund, investment advisory, investment bank, insurance company, mutual fund, pension fund, private equity, proprietary trading firm, wealth management, real estate investment trust, job role, accountant, analyst, back office, business development, cash manager, chief compliance officer, head of digital, middle office, product manager, risk manager, syndicator, treasurer, venture capitalist. I need access to information for company analysis. I'm launching a fund and want to discuss terminal access. I want a demo of data.bloomberg.com. I'm interested in specific data set. I want more information on Bloomberg's ESG scores. Very interesting. Very interesting. Power your decision making with best-in-class data, news, research, analytics, and access to a global community, all from one integrated solution. The financial world in full focus, built on next-gen technology. Our products, Bloomberg Terminal data, trading, compliance, risk, indices, aligned with your enterprise, asset management, banks, hedge funds. We are redefining the decision making in the age of AI. Okay. Is using AI to deliver actionable, trustworthy insights that empower you to move faster, work smarter, and more strategically, and achieve better results. Featured insights. Whoa. Here's what Hong Kong. Yeah, this looks like a Salesforce star, but I'm like, this is not SF. This is Hong Kong. Attract family offices. Alternative data insights, consumer spending, modeling the impact of tariffs on the global stock market. Okay, let's specifically look into the terminal. Bloomberg Terminal, the financial world in full focus, built on next-gen technology. Is it the same thing? Looking for terminal subscription? Order now. Extensive coverage, powerful analytics, multi-asset execution, industry-leading collaboration tools. 350,000 influential decision makers. Essentials, overview, products, charts. Okay, so we looked into this one, right? No, not this one. Yeah, we looked into this one. Terminal essentials. Access to high quality data. 97% of customers say Bloomberg delivers access to high quality data.
Rapidly. Do you have the tools to quickly sort through a sea of data and make informed decisions? I'll give you a hint. You do, with the Bloomberg terminal on your side. Welcome back to Terminal Essentials, a series that gives you a look at key features of the Bloomberg terminal so you can navigate it with confidence. I'm Ryan. Today, I want to give you a taste of how to explore the equities market with Bloomberg terminal functions. We'll look at functions that give you explorable summaries of equity indices and intraday price changes. That way, you always know where the market stands. The terminal is also a valuable idea generation tool, so we'll take a look at ways of discovering equities from a couple of different angles. And you'll probably want fundamentals and estimates to make smart decisions with all the information you've learned. You'll find many ways to access that key data. If you're looking for a specific kind of function, use the chapter feature on YouTube to move ahead to the appropriate section. Otherwise, let's get started. Let's start by looking at the market as a whole. WEIGO, or World Equity Indices, helps you know at a glance how equity indices are performing. At the main screen, we can see a summary of key data across major indices, like the S&P 500 in the Americas or the DAX in Germany. Take a look at these spark charts, which show how prices have behaved in the last 2 days. There's also a value column that reflects the spot price of the index. as well as columns for net change and percent change. Like many things on the terminal, more detail is only a click away. If I want to investigate what's happening with the DAX today, I only have to click on that row. Now we're in the market overview function. You can also get here by running IMAP Go. This gives us a breakdown of the index's intraday performance. It shows this arranged by sector in chart and table formats, side by side. You can see by the color coding which sectors are doing well today and which ones are underperforming. I can click through to that section of the chart to see it broken down into each subsectors. Because we launched this function by clicking on the DAX and the World Equities Index function, that's what loaded by default. But we can load any index or a composite of all securities by searching in the top left amber bar. The terminal makes idea generation more efficient by helping you follow hunches and discover connections in surprising ways. With natural language processing built into the terminal command line, you can just input a request.
It's really cool how they have idea generation as the thing.
Let's look for car makers in Europe with a market cap over 20 billion. Once we hit go, we see our search results. Let's click on the equities screening op.
Mercedes, Volkswagen, BMW, Stellantis, Ferrari.
Here at the top. Now we're in EQS Go, which lets you set parameters and narrow down the universe of equities. All the things you search for appear in a list in the main panel, but there are other popular EQS criteria templates you can explore to the left. From here, we can add more criteria for our search for European car makers, but we've already narrowed down the field to 6 options. So let's click through using the See Results button in the bottom right. This has brought us to the Watchlist Analytics function, which lets us analyze a collection of securities through many lenses. Along the top, we can see averages for the entire basket. But if there's different metrics you want to see, use the custom column at the top to build your own data table based on hundreds of possible fields. Now go build the security universe of your dreams. At this point, you've got a few easy ways to conduct basic top-down analysis on equities. Now, let's look at some bottom-up approaches, which start with a single company. Let's do a bit of research on Volkswagen's performance relative to its peers. We can do this in the relative valuation function, or RVGo. This function acts like a summary of data about a company and its peers. You can change or customize the peer set you're comparing against with the amber bar in the top left. I said that the relative valuation function works like a summary of data. That's because we can use it to click into other functions quickly. Maybe you're feeling like you're onto a good idea, and it's time to learn about the company's fundamentals. If I click on the related functions menu, we can open up our loaded security in FAGo, the financial analysis function. When you launch FA, the default screen shows key stats, like the market cap, revenue, gross profit, and so on for each fiscal year. We can explore more than the key stats with these tabs across the top of the function screen. Here's how you get to information like income statements, balance sheets, cash flows, and more. FA can even create useful charts when you click the little blue graph button next to any line item. Now we can see that data charted over time, and even add other information on top by clicking their checkboxes. The data in FA is fully transparent. Notice that there are differently colored numbers here. Amber ones are reported from company filings. Orange numbers are estimates. You can click any of the numbers to understand its source. We can explore the components of this number here. These document icons are linked to the exact place where the number was sourced. See, the number is highlighted in context, right from an income statement disclosure document from Volkswagen. This saves a lot of time in manual research. To access other filings like this and sort through 200 million company documents with the power of AI, explore DSCO Go, or Company Document Search. So far, we've looked at a lot of tools with historical views of an equity, but what about how we'll perform in the future? We can't know for sure, but we can see what the company itself predicts and what experts have to say on the matter. Here's one of the easier functions to remember. If you want to know earnings and estimates, you just type in EE Go. Easy. By default, EE shows estimates for key metrics in the coming quarter: EPS, revenue, net income, operating profit, and EBITDA. Each one is accompanied by the 4-week change, as well as the number of times the company has made their own estimates in the past 8 announcements. Well, now we know what Volkswagen estimates for itself, but what's the word on the street? The consensus overview function, EEO Go, shows you a Bloomberg estimate based on analyst estimates. We can click on this section to go to a function with more information about recent and...
This is really cool. This is really cool. Wow. Inside support. Wow. All right, let's see. Tell me more about the Bloomberg terminal chat. This is very interesting because it's like, anyways, in whatever work you do after you reach a particular point, you are basically working on hunches. You're basically working, she talks about hunches, like if you have this hunch, like tell me more about the European car makers with a valuation of more than 20 billion. So you're pretty much working on hunches, but over here, you're working with hunches, which just has a lot of output, a very clear value proposition. So that's actually very interesting. Okay. Bloomberg Terminal, a cornerstone of financial data and analytics, is primarily used by large financial institutions, investment firms, and other organizations requiring real-time market data, analytics, and communication tools. Does not publicly disclose a comprehensive list of its clients. Available data industry insights indicate that its biggest clients are typically major players in banking, asset management, wealth management, investment banking. Charles Schwab. Okay. Regions Bank, First Horizon Bank, TD Securities, Sentry, GIC Singapore, broader client base, major financial institutions. Goldman Sachs and BlackRock have historically been linked to Bloomberg, even funding competitors like Symphony in response to privacy concerns in 2013. Wow. Investment and wealth management firms, asset management and wealth management, as well as investment banking, reflecting its dominance in these sectors. 65% are US based, followed by United Kingdom and Canada. Scale and revenue. Companies like Charles Schwab and Regions Bank have the financial resources to afford the terminal's high subscription costs. Their large employee bases and revenue streams necessitate robust tools for managing investments and market risk. Terminal's real-time data analytics and communication tools, instant Bloomberg chat, are critical for trading, portfolio management, client interactions, making it indispensable for firms in banking investment. So this is what I want to know more about. Network effects. The terminal's chat function creates a walled garden effect where firms must subscribe to communicate with other financial institutions, reinforcing its use among major players. Gabriel Stone of Oxford Economics noted that Bloomberg's IB chat is essential for client access, particularly on the buy side. Context, learning opportunity, career insight. Knowing that firms like TD Securities rely on the terminal can guide career planning if you are considering roles in finance or data analysis. Terminal's cost is prohibitive, but free alternatives like Yahoo Finance or SEC Edgar can provide similar data for company research. Less real-time depth, data gaps. Detailed client lists are not publicly available. Faced backlash when it was revealed that reporters accessed client chat data, prompting apologies and public policy changes. This affected trust with clients like Goldman Sachs, but did not significantly disrupt its client base. Dominance, ensuring that major financial firms remain its core clients. Interesting. Instant Bloomberg. Okay, got it. Chat features, secure proprietary messaging system integrated into the Bloomberg professional services platform, critical component for financial professionals, enabling real-time communication within a closed network of over 325,000 subscribers, including traders, analysts, and portfolio managers. Comprehensive overview, real-time messaging for financial professionals, communicate with colleagues, clients, and counterparties within the Bloomberg ecosystem. Walled garden locks users, enhancing value through network effects, available through institutional access, data analysis, real-time. Individuals or groups within the network identified by unique user IDs or Bloomberg UUIDs, universal user IDs. It's a cool name, but technically you're not universal. File attachments, integration with market data, allowing users to share charts, codes, and analytics directly in chats. Secure communication, encrypted network, ensuring confidentiality for sensitive financial discussions. Chat rooms and groups. Tell me the story of how the idea of Bloomberg terminal came about and major milestones in its history since its inception. Okay, nice. Chat rooms and groups. Right, once you create a group chat, it's really hard. Switching costs is massive. Okay, archive for compliance with regulatory requirements such as those from the SEC or FINRA. Users can create or join chat rooms of specific topics, industries, or trading desks, fostering collaboration. A trader might join a chat room for fixed income securities to discuss bond yields with peers globally. Integration with terminal features. IB is seamlessly integrated with other Bloomberg tools such as market data feeds, news and analytics. Users can drag and drop data into a chat for discussion. Commands like CN Company News or FA can be referenced in chats, enhancing decision making. With users across 174 countries, IB connects financial professionals worldwide, making it a hub for cross-border deal making and information sharing. A portfolio manager in New York can instantly coordinate with a counterparty in Singapore. Significance in the financial industry. Cornerstone of the Bloomberg terminal's dominance, contributing to its 33.4% market share. The more users on IB, the more valuable it becomes as its primary communication tool for many financial institutions. Firms like Charles Schwab or TD Securities rely on IB to connect with clients and counterparties, creating a lock-in effect. Eliminates the need for external messaging platforms, streamlining workflows by combining communication with data access. A trader can negotiate a deal and check real-time bond prices in the same interface. Stringent regulatory standards ensuring that communications are auditable and secure, which is critical for firms under regulatory scrutiny. Bloomberg reporters accessed IB chat data, prompting backlash from clients like Goldman Sachs. Issued apologies and restricted reporter access, reinforcing IB security measures. Usage for non finance individuals. Limited in practical application. Academics studying financial markets can use IB to observe communication patterns if permitted by access policies or analyze archived messages for qualitative research. News feeds for breaking stories, though direct messaging is restricted. Limitations, access restrictions, learning curve, reliant on mnemonic commands can be intimidating without financial knowledge. Mnemonic commands. Value is minimal unless you are studying or reporting on financial communication. Free platforms. Okay, social media. Real time insights into market sentiment, though they lack IB secure professional environment. Competition. Alternatives like Symphony, backed by firms like Goldman Sachs, emerge to challenge IB's dominance by offering open source messaging. However, Symphony has not displaced IB due to Bloomberg's entrenched network. Cost barrier. Emerged from Michael Bloomberg's vision to streamline access to market information for financial professionals. Launched in 82, it transformed the finance industry with real-time data, analytics, and communication tools. Below is a detailed narrative of how the idea came about, followed by a major milestone. In the late 70s, Michael Bloomberg was a partner at Salomon Brothers, prominent Wall Street investment bank where he led equity trading and sales. By 81, he was pushed out during a merger with Fibro Corporation, receiving 10 million severance package. This pivotal moment gave Bloomberg the financial freedom, gave Bloomberg, the person, the financial freedom and motivation to pursue an entrepreneurial venture. His time at Salomon exposed him to the inefficiencies of financial data access. Traders relied on paper reports, phone calls, and disparate systems, which were slow and fragmented. Bloomberg identified a gap. There was no centralized real-time system to deliver comprehensive market data, analytics, and communication. He envisioned a single platform that could empower traders with instant access to stock prices, bond yields, and news, all integrated into one user-friendly interface. Wow, user-friendly. This idea was revolutionary in an era dominated by manual processes and early clunky computer systems. Wow, wow. It's also very interesting. Like, you necessarily don't want, sometimes when you become really entrenched into the industry, and like uh, a bunch of financial analysts today have grown up using Bloomberg from the early computer times, and they have been using these mnemonics and stuff. It hasn't adapted to the beautiful UI of today that we see on consumer apps. It is still, and those old financial analysts, old elite traders, they still want to keep the same thing because having a mystery around their work, having a lot of people not being able to understand their work, and having that much compli- having complicated way to explain their work actually makes them feel more prominent, actually helps them improve, like helps them increase their status, because they're like, oh, we're working on something complicated. So that's also very interesting over here. For his time, Michael Bloomberg, made something that was very user friendly, but yeah, it became extremely successful, and then it never changed, which is very interesting. There was no centralized real time system to deliver comprehensive market data, analytics, and communication. He envisioned a single platform that could empower traders with instant access to stock prices, bond yields, and news, all integrated into one user friendly interface. Revolutionary in an era dominated by manual processes and early clunky computer systems. Birth of the idea. With the severance, he founded Innovative Market Systems, later renamed Bloomberg LP in 81. His goal was to create a computerized system that aggregated financial data and delivered it in real time to Wall Street professionals. He partnered with three former Salomon colleagues, Thomas Secunda, Duncan Macmillan, and Charles Zagar, who brought technical and financial expertise. Secunda, in particular, was instrumental in developing the system's analytics capabilities. Initial focus was on the bond market, a critical area at Salomon where data was notoriously hard to access. He aimed to provide bond traders with instant pricing, yield calculations, and market trends, which were previously compiled manually or through fragmented sources. The team leased a small office in New York and began building a prototype leveraging early PCs and proprietary software. A key early client was Merrill Lynch, which saw the potential Bloomberg system. 82 Merrill Lynch ordered 20 terminals, invested 30 million in the company, securing a 30% stake, later reduced. This partnership validated the concept and provided crucial funding to scale development. Wow. The first terminal, Market Master. December 82, Innovative Market Systems launched its first product, Market Master desktop terminal that delivered real-time bond prices, market data, and basic analytics. Unlike existing systems, which were slow and limited to specific asset classes, Market Master offered a user-friendly interface with a keyboard optimized for financial data input. Dedicated hardware ensuring speed and reliability was priced at around 15,000 per year per terminal, a premium justified by its efficiency. As the system became synonymous with Michael Bloomberg's brand. By 84, the company rebranded as Bloomberg LP, reflecting its growing ambition to dominate financial information services. Wow. 82, launch of Market Master. Bond market data adopted by Merrill Lynch, marking the company's first major client. Terminals real-time data delivery set it apart from competitors like TeleRate, which focus on static data. Established Bloomberg as a player in financial technology, targeting Wall Street's need for speed and accuracy. Expansion to equities and news. Terminal expanded beyond bonds to include stock prices, equity analytics, and rudimentary news updates. Began hiring journalists to produce proprietary news, laying the foundation for Bloomberg News. Oh wow, very interesting. So you start with financial news, you start with a product, and then you move into content. Because you were like, okay, we cannot be just instead of what's the right word, attributing, instead of going out and finding and attributing the right news for our customers, let's just make the right news. The terminal expanded beyond bonds to include stock prices, equity analytics, and rudimentary news updates. Bloomberg began hiring journalists to produce proprietary news, laying the foundation for Bloomberg News. Broadened the terminal's appeal to equity traders and portfolio managers, increasing its market reach. 88. Introduction of IB. Secure messaging system IB Instant Bloomberg, allowing users to communicate within the terminal's closed network. This feature became a walled garden, locking users into the Bloomberg ecosystem. IB fostered network effects, making the terminal indispensable for communication among finance professionals. 90. Bloomberg News established. Global expansion dominance. Formalized its news division, integrating real-time financial reporting into the terminal. Journalists provided market updates, breaking news, and analysis accessible via commands like NI, News Index. Enhanced the terminal's value as one-stop shop for data information, competing with routers and Dow Jones. International growth. Bloomberg expanded globally, opening offices in London, Tokyo, Hong Kong. Terminal adapted to local markets, offering data on European bonds, Asian equities, and currency markets. By 95, Bloomberg had terminals in 50 countries, cementing its status as a global platform. 97, Bloomberg Anywhere introduced. A precursor to cloud-based access, allowing users to log into their terminal accounts from any compatible PC using biometric authentication. Fingerprint scanners. Wow. Any compatible PC using biometric authentication. Anywhere. Increased flexibility for users, moving away from dedicated hardware and boosting adoption. Excel integration. Technological advancements and market leadership. Introduced the Bloomberg Excel add-in, enabling users to export terminal data, stock prices, financial statements directly into Microsoft Excel for custom analysis. Made the terminal a critical tool for quantitative analysts and portfolio managers, enhancing its analytical capabilities. News established. Market share dominance. Captured 33% market share in financial data and analytics, surpassing routers. The terminal's 150,000 subscribers include major banks like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. Industry leaders, subscription costs rising to $20,000 per year per user. Professional services app. Bloomberg released mobile apps for iOS and Android, allowing subscribers, oh wow, they were early to the game, 2009. Access limited terminal features, news quotes on smartphones. This complemented the desktop terminal's functionality. Extended the terminal's reach to mobile users, catering to professionals on the go. Oh. 2009. Challenges and adaptation. So this was the privacy scandal. User activity data to track client behavior. Issued a public apology and the company restricted reporter access to client data. Damaged trust temporarily, prompting competitors like Symphony to challenge the messaging's dominance, recovered by reinforcing privacy policies. Peak and decline. A peak of 325 terminal subscribers, but user numbers began to decline slightly due to competition from Refinitiv, FactSet, and cheaper alternatives. However, Bloomberg's non-terminal business grew, diversifying revenue streams while maintaining a 33.4% market share. Bloomberg Market Concepts. Bloomberg formalized the BMC course, an 8-hour e-learning program accessible via the terminal BMC Go, teaching economics, currencies, fixed income, and equities. It became popular among students and non-finance professionals. This was 2018. For learning purposes, 2020, cloud-based enhancement. Fully transitioning to cloud-based access, users could access the terminal from any device with a secure login, reducing reliance on physical terminals. Improved. All right, so this is the reason why it's called terminal, because terminal was basically the device through which it was being accessed. But now that we are in the modern technology, terminal has just become the product name, because you can just make cloud-based apps now. Improved accessibility during remote work trends post-COVID, maintaining relevance in our digital-first world. Subscriber milestone. 174 country subscription cost reached 28 to 32,000, reflecting inflation and added features. Demonstrated the terminal's enduring value despite competition from workspace and open source platforms. Continued innovation. Bloomberg continues to enhance the terminal with AI-driven analytics, ESG data, and integration with emerging asset classes like cryptocurrencies. This is very interesting because you will face a lot of competition if you are going for this, if you're trying to convert the same elite traders who have built their entire history on Bloomberg Terminal. But you can just expand the market, because now everybody wants to do this kind of research. Everybody would be interested in this kind of research. So if you create a competitor that helps beginners become intermediate and then slowly become advanced, you can increase the pie, rather than trying to convince the traders who already have spent 20 years using terminal, and now you have to basically create an entire replica of Bloomberg. You have to, if you want to compete with Bloomberg Terminal, you have to create an exact one-to-one replica of Bloomberg Terminal. Everything has to be same, and still then they will be like, oh shit, I don't have the same conversations that I have over here, so I won't use you. But instead you can just open the market by getting more and more beginners who are now interested in something like trading and working on their hunches, like, because of this trend, I believe this is something that's going to happen. More and more people are now reading news. They want to take action with their money. Cryptocurrency is big one. So you can increase the market rather than competing for the existing small pie. Keeps Bloomberg ahead in competitive landscape with a focus on sustainability and technology. Enhanced terminal with AI-driven analytics, ESG integration with emerging asset classes like cryptocurrency, critical tool for firms like Charles Schwab and TD Securities. Learn finance, research companies, understand markets, conclusion. Okay, really interesting. Let me see some Michael. Bloomberg quotes. Let's see if we have something interesting over here. Known for his insights on business leadership, innovation, public service. On entrepreneurship and innovation, if you don't try things that might fail, you're never going to get anywhere. Risk-taking approach when founding Bloomberg LP in 81 after his departure from Salomon Brothers. This mindset drove the creation of Bloomberg Terminal, a bold venture in financial technology. If you don't try things that might fail, you're never going to get anywhere. The thing about new ideas is most of them don't work. You've got to keep trying until you get one that does. Highlights his persistence in developing the Market Master, predecessor to the Bloomberg Terminal, despite early challenges and competitive market dominated by routers and telerate. Nobody ever got ahead by doing what everybody else is doing. emphasizes Bloomberg's strategy of differentiating the terminal by integrating real-time data, analytics, and communication, IB chat, setting it apart from static data providers. On leadership and success, success is not about how much money you make, but about the difference you make in people's lives. During his mayoral tenure and his philanthropy, but also applies to the terminal's impact on empowering financial professionals with actionable data. How much money you make, but about the difference you make in people's lives. You can manage what you can measure. A principle underlying the Bloomberg terminal's design, which provides precise real-time metrics to inform financial decisions. The most powerful word in the English language is why. There is nothing so powerful as an open, inquiring mind. Curiosity-driven approach to solving inefficiencies and Salmon Brothers leading to the terminal's creation. Why? There is nothing so powerful as an open, inquiring mind. On technology and finance, information is power, and we are going to make sure everybody has access to it. For $28,000. Spoken in the context of Bloomberg LP's mission to democratize financial data through the terminal. But that makes sense. Like he was at that time only working on Wall Street. He was trying to build a product for the Wall Street, and this was a business that he wanted to make money from. But that makes sense from that time. Like a lot of people, they were doing the same work but on paper, and he's like, no, let's do this with computers, and let's do this with real-time data. Let's bring everything that's important to you in one place, and let's make a lot of money. We are going to make sure everybody has access to it. Today it doesn't make sense. Yeah, the technology we developed was designed to make markets more efficient, transparent, and fair, providing real-time bond and equity data, reducing information asymmetry in trading. Information asymmetry, right? If you are part of the market, if you are trading, you want information asymmetry. You want yourself to have more information from others so that you can jump on the opportunities and make return. But if you are building a technology serving people, you want to reduce information asymmetry so that you can get a lot of different clients. So this is, again, very interesting game theory. The technology we developed was designed to make markets more efficient, transparent, and fair. Efficient, transparent, and fair. They definitely made efficient with real-time data, with, again, launching their own news division. You now have reporters who are doing their own research, and if they are not biased, I'm not sure about what people say about Bloomberg News, but if they are not biased, you are now providing users, first-hand, curated, high quality news with real-time data. So that's even more powerful. On public service and responsibility, government's role is to do what people can do for themselves. From his time as mayor, this reflects Bloomberg's pragmatic approach to governance, contrasting with his entrepreneurial focus, but showing his belief in systemic solutions. I've always believed that if you work hard, take risk, and don't give up, you can achieve great things. Journey from Salomon Brothers to building a company with a 33.4% market share in financial data and analytics. I love how it doesn't talk about the valuation of the company, but like 33.4% market share in financial data. I don't even know how much that is. Okay. Getting fired from Salomon was the best thing that ever happened to me. 981 dismissal, which led to founding Bloomberg LP with his 10 million severance. This resilience fueled the terminal's creation. Obviously it's the best thing. You got $10 million in severance. That's the best severance package. You don't learn anything from success. You learn from your mistakes. Iterative approach to refining the terminal, learning from early challenges like hardware limitations and user feedback. Entrepreneurial lessons, learning opportunity, resilience, source reliability, terminal connection limitations.